Creating images using AI is all the rage now, and in 2026, it's never been easier. It's been out for a couple of years, but the first set of images were pretty rough, and it's gotten really good. However, the way you prompt your AI images makes a huge difference, and I'm going to show you the mistakes that most people make and show you some solutions to it. So, first thing, there's 4 platforms that I typically use for creating images, and I actually use them to work with each other. So I use ChatGPT. There's a free version or an upgraded version. The upgraded version is only about 20 bucks a month. Highly recommend it if you've got it. Then there's Grok, which I think at one point was paid, but I think it's free now as well. Adobe Express, and I think there's a cost to that one. And then Microsoft Designer, which is available with a free Microsoft account. So I'm going to talk about all 4 of those today, but first thing I'm going to do is show a common mistake that people make. So a lot of times when people want to make an image, they say something like create an image of a classroom of students, right? Now, it works, and it's going to create an image for us. However, that's a very generic description, and it is going to make a lot of assumptions. So here's what you didn't tell it. You didn't tell it how many students you wanted. You didn't tell it what the age range was. You didn't say what type of classroom that you wanted. And so it is just kind of making assumptions for all of those things, probably based on what's the most common. So yeah, you got an image, cool, but it's going to be very generic. So here's always my recommendation. Go to ChatGPT first and give it, instead of asking it to make an image, ask it to help you make a prompt for an image generator. For example, help me create a 3-sentence. Usually image generators can handle about 3 to 4 sentences. So you want to cap what's created for you. Otherwise, if it's too long, it starts losing some of the details. So I like to give it about 3. So I say, help me create a 3-sentence description for an image generator with the following. And then I say, middle school classroom. I'll say something like computer lab, diverse group of students working on projects, and I might say something like palm trees in the background. So now I'm giving it some context, and then it's going to write up a description for me. I don't have it make the image yet. Now, sometimes that first description is great. I always recommend reiterating a few times. Maybe you don't want the large windows, or maybe you don't want the energetic atmosphere. So you can adjust it. You don't have to take what it gives you the first time. But let's assume you like it. I'll take this, copy it, and then I'm going to tell ChatGPT, hey, go ahead and please make the image. And it's going to start making the image. And whilst it's making the image, now I'm going to slide over here to my other platforms, such as Grok, Adobe Express. So I'm going to come here to Quick Actions, Generate Image, and then I'm going to go to Microsoft Designer. Now, there's a lot more you can do as far as setting sizes and things like that. We'll get to that another day. But I'm going to come back to some of my images. So let's take a look. So Adobe Express has already provided me with images. You can see it's got some of those, and if I want to see it in a little bit bigger, I can expand, start to look through some of these images that were created. Okay, cool. And I can come back here to Grok. Now, one thing Grok did was it made a huge classroom for me. And then over here, ChatGPT is still working on it. I noticed that ChatGPT tends to take the longest on images, and that's okay. So you can work on something else while you're doing it. Now, if I take a look at this image and I like it, cool, I can download it, edit it, free to use it how I want. Often it takes me 2 or 3 tries to get the specific image that I want. So I'm going to give you another example. I might say, please adjust the prompt so it only has 3 students working in a small group. Include a Hispanic male, black female, and white female with blonde hair. Now, the reason you want to be specific, even about the way that the students look, is if you think about where it's pulling information, one, there's often going to be some bias, but two, if you think about it, there's over 1 billion people in the world in India, over 1 billion people in the world in China, and other places that have mega populations. So if you're just looking at the statistics of the entire world, it's going to pull in demographics that may not be reflective of the community that you live in. So maybe you're making a image for your school or for your organization, and most of your students are Hispanic, or most of your students are African American, or most of your students are Asian, or most of your students are white. Then what you're pulling from ChatGPT may not match that. And if you want your image to match your demographics, you may need to be specific in your prompt. So now what I made a mistake here, and maybe ChatGPT misunderstood me, was that I said adjust the prompt, and it's adjusting the image. So what I should have said was adjust the prompt and say something like, don't remake the image. So after it makes this image, I'm going to ask it to give me that prompt. Now let's slide back to Microsoft Designer, see how this one's going. This one has a pretty cool, this would be a nice classroom to teach in right here. So this one's got a pretty cool vibe going right here. Now it's not perfect. So if you're asking for perfection, you're probably not going to get it. So while it looks cool, like what are these kids working on? Like there's flowers on their screens. There's a student's like face on the desk. I don't know what's going on there. So it's not perfect, but these are great images that you can use kind of as background images or for your presentations that are a little more specific than what you might find online. If you just go straight to Google, you're going to run into a lot of copyright issues with images, and you can also go to free image, like royalty-free image places like Pexels.com or Unsplash.com, but here you can really tell it exactly what you want. So I'm going to slide back over here. Now you can see it gave me, like, this is exactly what I asked it for as far as demographic, but I didn't actually get the prompt. So now I'm taking the prompt, or I'm getting the prompt, so I didn't actually want the image, and I can take that prompt and I can pump it back into my other ones. So what I like here is I'm getting multiple options, and I can choose which image I like the best. Now with Microsoft Designer, you're going to get a set amount, so you can burn through those pretty quick. So Adobe Express already went ahead and made these for me. These look a little bit older than middle school students, so again, it's not perfect. Grok has went ahead and made mine that looks a little more accurate. ChatGPT had already made it, and Microsoft Designer already popped these out. So I might like one of these. Great. Now let's switch gears a little bit and say, hey, maybe I'm trying to make an example of maybe like a logo, right? So I could say, please give me a prompt for a logo for my new chocolate chip cookie company. Now, I haven't given it any information about my company, so let's see what it gives us. So it's given me a prompt for one. Maybe I like it, maybe I don't, but now I kind of know what to tweak. So I could come in and maybe change colors, give it designs, but I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, make that image for me, or make that logo for me, please. I like to be kind to my AI. And then I'm gonna try this with Grok and with Adobe Express, see if they can make me. Now this isn't a logo generator, so we'll see what happens, but one thing with AI is just you can kind of try things and see what works. So Grok already made me. Now this is pretty decent. So one thing that happens with people is often they're trying to start a business or they got an idea and they're like, I don't want to start. I don't have a logo. I can't start a business. Like this eliminates a lot of the barriers that you may have for implementing your idea. Is this going to be your forever logo? Probably not. But it's a great way to have something to start on day one. So you can say, you know what, logo, we're going to work on that later, but I just need something. I can't have a blank screen. So now you've got a logo. So this is pretty solid right here. These are pretty cool options too. I wouldn't use the words because it's spelled wrong. AI images are notorious for bad spelling. This looks pretty good too. And Microsoft Designer has given me one as well. So now I have already a logo for a new company. So that's a great way to start. You can also come in here and have it make other types of image. So let's say that I'm trying to do like a gym scene. All right. Give me a prompt for an image generator of 3 guys working out in an outdoor CrossFit gym. Now, I know I spelled a bunch of stuff wrong there. AI will pick it up anyway, so I'm just going to leave it. And so now I'm going to ask it to give me this prompt. Again, I'm not being very specific, but I'm letting it create the prompt for me. And then this kind of gives me, all right, what's it looking for? I can tweak it, I can adjust it, or I can leave it. So I'm going to copy just the prompt, and then I'm going to go ahead and say, please make the image. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch to my other platforms and ask it to make the image for me. Now I've got these images already popping up. So I can take these images and use them. And if I don't like them, again, you just adjust the prompt and make it again. But one of the most powerful things I think you can do with ChatGPT is that instead of telling it to make you an image, ask it to help you make the prompt for the image first. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope you got something out of this, and look forward to connecting with you on the next video.